But
Okay.
user story will comprise of all these tasks together. Okay.
Okay. Then even then. Okay. Then what about difference between feature and then a task? Actually, feature also, but based on the features, only will be different task, right?
Yeah, features is I will tell you all these whatever we are dealing with work items, right? So all these are like a measurable work items. Okay, so it depends on the requirement complexity, I would say, because what happens is whenever you are designing a product, right, you will have different components which is all put together to form a product.
Okay.
So feature will be the one with the huge requirement. Feature will be, say for example, it will be like a whole module or whole development product, something like a Flipkart. Okay, under that
Okay.
you will have many sub modules, right? Like your return will be there, request related to your product, or it will be related to the different categories that you're shopping, or it might be because related to the different product catalog item, all those things, right? So
Okay.
implementing each of these uh, products will be one feature. Okay, so under that feature you
Okay.
might have several other work which is again segregated into user story, again segregated into task.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so usually this decision will be made by the system architect, wherein system architect, DevOps person, developers, everyone, they'll sit together in a meeting and they'll discuss on how they can segregate this, because company to company, the work, the person experience, everything matters, right? Say for example, a newcomer can take to work for a simple task like 2 days. Okay, the same thing can be done in 2 hours for an experienced person.
Okay.
So likewise, they'll
So
sit and
like a
discuss
Scrum
the,
Master.
yeah. Scrum Master is
Oh,
also one of the member who will be present in the daily meeting of this discussion. Usually, this will be the sprint meeting. Okay.
okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have got all of us in, and if that answers your question, Praneeth, we can go ahead and start today's session.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Thank you. So now I want any one of you to share the screen and we can get the topics covered from the continuation of yesterday's class. Who
Yes,
is
ma'am.
going to share the screen?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to share the screen.
Okay, go ahead, Sampath. Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah, go ahead and click on Azure DevOps. Are there any doubts regarding the other two classes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Praneeth, I'll be sending one link, okay, to everyone with respect to the organization hierarchy and the agile framework, which refers to all the different work items. Okay, and also other documents which will help you to understand the differences between epic, feature, user story, and task also.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay, yeah. So now let's go ahead and click on boards. I think we have completed the overview about the dashboard wiki. Yeah, and we were under the work items. So we also had looked into different types of work items that we have and how to create it, what are the different operations. Hope you all have gone through the different operations of the work item and we are good to go with the next one. Okay. But what I want is, yeah, while we are going through these modules only, we'll be looking at the settings that are there in the project settings. Okay. So can we go to project settings? Let's cover a few things in project settings and then come back here. Okay, I'll not take much time in explaining all these things because we have already seen organization settings, right? So most of them will be similar to that. So here you can see the project details and the process template, as we have already gone through this process template here, right? So how to change the process template for a project and all those things. And if you scroll down, you see this project administrators. So in case if you want to add any of the members as the project administrator, you can go ahead and click that add administrator button and add them to the project administrator, so that the member who is added as the project administrator will have full access for the project. Okay, similarly, for the organization setting, in the organization settings, we have seen the project collection administrator, right? So that is the access for the super admin for the whole organization. This one will be for the particular project. Okay, let us go to the teams. So here what happens is we can see the different teams created for the project. So as I told you, the hierarchy will go wherein the organization will be one, and under that organization you will have multiple projects. Inside the project also you will have multiple teams. Say for example, when we are working, we will have the organization created for a company, and under that company they will have their teams worldwide, right? So they will be segregating their projects location wise. Say for example, APAC team, EMEA team, and Northeast team, like that. So inside that APAC team, you will be having the different actual teams working together. Okay, say for example, they will have they'll be having a team called as development team, they'll be having testing team, DevOps team, all those teams. So similarly, we'll be creating the teams here. If you click on new team here, so let's go ahead and learn also how to create it. Okay, because whenever you're creating a new team, you will have two things to consider. So we'll see that also. Please click on new team. Yeah, name it as DevOps team itself. Already Azure DevOps team is there, no? Let's do one thing. Let's create a developers team. Okay, and members you can, add yourself for now. Okay, and it is asking you whether you need to add any of the members as the administrators. Okay, this administrators box that you're seeing here is for team, not for the project level. Okay, so scroll down, and in case whoever members you are going to add, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, add Ravi as well, and yeah, okay. So you can see a checkbox here wherein it is telling you add admins to team members. In case if you want every team member to add, yeah, add them as a team member, no need to add there also. Just click the checkbox, it will be adding those members as the team admins also, team administrator. Okay, so scroll down, create it. And you can also see there is the contributors by default. You can go ahead and create it. Okay, now you have created the team. But once you create the team, it is not over. You will also have to add the iterations and area paths for this team. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go to the team configuration. Let's see the other options. But for now, with respect to the teams, let's go to team configuration. So under the team configuration, yeah, you will also have to enable this one. Okay, can you click the checkbox here for epics? Until and unless you select it here, it will not be appearing there. Okay, under the backlogs, it is under general. So under general, you can see this is the basic structure for all the teams that we are having. That means it will tell you what is the backlogs that you want to have it under the backlogs option when we are going to see the Azure boards. Okay, so for now we have epic, features and stories, and what are the working days. These are the constant thing that we don't usually change. Okay, so whatever capacity that we are going to measure, because we are going to see the capacity option also under boards, so that is the reason here it will tell you what are the working days, because we need to measure the work versus time. Okay, and if you scroll down, you see something called as working with bugs. Okay, for that also you have, there are 3 selections. Please scroll down. Yeah, you see bugs are managed with requirements, bugs are managed with task, bugs are not managed on backlogs and boards. That's what is given. But you will have to select the option as bugs are managed with requirements. Okay, so I'll show you where this option will come into picture later. Can you click on the iterations tab here? Yeah, so why this iteration is required under the team is because you will have to select the iteration to measure your work based on the sprint, right? So as we discussed, a sprint is total of 10 days. That means 2 weeks. 2 weeks comprises of a sprint. So for that 2 weeks, what is that work that we are going to do? How much is done, and all those measurement will be done versus time, where the time specific measurement is given under the iterations. So here, right now you see Azure DevOps slash sprint 1, right? So this iteration is already selected, but for that iteration you don't see any start date or end date, right? So we'll come to that, but can you go to the areas here? Yeah, if you see, you will also see the default area here as Azure DevOps. Okay, so can you come to the area and then click on the 3 dots here? Just hover on the area below Azure DevOps. Below. You see select areas here? Select areas plus, yeah. Below that you see Azure DevOps. Yes, click on the 3 dots there. Okay, so if you see here, right now it is showing you are under Azure DevOps, but this one, what will happen is we are having a team, right? So we have created a new team called as developers team, but here we have the Azure DevOps. So let me show you that. You will have to scroll little above to select our actual team. So can you take the scroll bar above? To your right hand side, there will be a scroll bar, right? Just go, not left hand side, right hand side. Yeah, just scroll above. Use your up arrow. Yeah, use your up arrow. There will be a team selection drop down actually. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go to project configuration. Below. Yeah, go to project configuration. Yes, that option itself. Yeah, there. Okay, so right now we have under iterations, we have sprint 1, right? So based on the sprints, you can create sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. So let's see how to create that. Can you click on the 3 dots on Azure DevOps? Yeah, there. Click on new child. Already sprint 1 is there. Give the iteration name as sprint 2. This iteration name will also be different based on the different companies. They might use sprint 2 or they might also use 1801, something like that. But whatever iteration name, you will have to give the start date and end date. Okay, for now, let's do one thing. Save and close. Let's not select the date. Let's select the date for sprint 1 actually first. Yeah, click on 3 dots of sprint 1. Edit. Select the date. Okay, select it from 6th only. End date will be automatically, it should take from the next sprint. Okay, so 6 means it will be 2 weeks, right? You will have to end the date by 17th. Yeah. Okay, save and close. Location will be Azure DevOps. Yeah. Now you click on the sprint 2. Edit. Start date. See, automatically it took as 20, right? Yeah. Click on 20. Automatically end date will be taken. Okay. Save and close. So right now for this project, we have 2 sprints. Okay, sprint 1, sprint 2. Let's go to the areas. You see the option above areas here only, the same page. Yeah. So under the areas, you will be seeing the developers team here. Okay. So click on the 3 dots there. Yeah. Edit. Okay, location is Azure DevOps. Fine. Save and close. Okay. Here there is one more option that I want to tell you. Can you click on 3 dots? For any access kind of issues that you will be facing, you will have to click on security. Okay, so here if you see, you have 5 options, right? Edit, new child, and delete and security. So all the other options are pretty straightforward. So I'm concentrating only on the options that are required mandatorily. Okay, so can you click on security? So here by default, you will have contributors, these access. Okay, so right now you see for the contributors, you don't see the option to edit the node, delete the node, create the child node. Okay, so what does this mean is that whoever is part of developers team, they will not be able to delete this hierarchy, because the initial setup what we are doing right now, we have an Azure DevOps project. Under that Azure DevOps project, we have created the team called as development team. So nobody should be able to delete the development team. So here every team will refer to the node. Okay, so they should not be able to delete or modify any kind of hierarchy issues, like they should not move the teams in between, or they should not be able to control the permission. So for all those things, create child node, delete child node, edit child node will not be provided access by default. If you see, edit work items in the node is allowed. That means if you're creating any number of work items for that particular team, that is the development team, they should be able to edit all the work items. That is the reason it has edit work items in this node as allowed. And manage test plans, manage test suite, view permissions, view work items in this node, all are enabled. Okay, so these permissions, when it will be useful is that sometimes what they will do is that when you create a team, they'll specify that nobody should be able to edit any of the work items in this particular team. They want to make a team as read only. They should not be able to make any changes to that particular team. That time you will have to come here, make the option edit work items in this node as deny. Okay, so that nobody else will be able to make any changes to that particular project. So this is particularly to manage the permissions, to restrict the users to make the changes for that particular team. This is where you will have to come. Okay, and it is based on the groups also. Right now you are seeing the permissions for contributors group, who will be, whenever we add a particular user to the team, by default they'll be added to the contributors. You saw that, right? Whenever you are creating the team and adding the members, you saw the group as contributors. Okay, and if you have any other group, you can go ahead and see the permissions for that also. Like if you see the readers, can you go to the readers group? Yeah, readers group, you see, even the edit work items will not be allowed, because this is a reader group. Whoever is part of reader group will not have the extra access for that. They should be able to read only. They should not be able to edit it. Got it? And project collection test service account is also, all these 3 groups that we see under Azure DevOps group are the default groups that will be added to the project team whenever you're creating the team. Okay, so for the project collection test service account also, you can see only view permission is allowed. Okay, under the users tab. Yeah,
I have a small doubt here actually.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, actually here, but we can edit the permissions, right? Like it's a drop down, right? In create child nodes, edit this node. We can, since we gave the same name as administrator, so only we could we are getting the option here, right? To edit, or generally we can edit even from the developers team.
No. Only if you are be project admin or the team admin, you will be able to see the option to edit it. Otherwise, it will be grayed out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So under the user also, it will take the Azure DevOps build service with your name, and also the user with your name as the default option. Okay. So let's go ahead and close this window. So right now under the project configuration, everything looks good. Let's go to the team configuration. Okay, here this is fine. Can we go to the okay? Yeah, one second. I want you to select the team, right? So in the above, beside the search button, right? You see Azure DevOps team. There is a search button to your right hand side above, right? Yes. Left hand, no, don't search it actually. To the left hand side, you see Azure DevOps team drop down. Beside that. Yes. Select that. Select the developers team. So this is where you will select the different teams. Okay. Enable the backlog for developers team, and scroll down, and working with bugs also. Let us manage it with the requirement. I'll show you the difference between management bugs managed with requirements also and with task. Okay. Yeah. Right now, let it be with requirements. Okay. Scroll up. Go to the iterations now. So here you see, you don't see the iteration. Okay. Before we were actually looking at the Azure DevOps team. That is the default team that gets created when a project is created. That's where the iterations were present. Okay. But whenever you create a new teams, you will have to select the iteration. Okay. So if you see, default iteration will be selected at current iteration, and backlog iteration will be Azure DevOps. That will be the project one. So now click on select iterations here. Yeah, select the sprint one. Click on iteration. Click on plus iteration. Automatically, it will take you the second sprint. Okay. Save and close. So what this means is that whenever you create the iteration, whenever you want to add the iteration, the iterations must be defined at the project level first. Okay. So under the project configuration, we will have to define the sprints, means the iterations first, and all those iterations will be used by the underlying teams of that project. Okay. So right now you see sprint 1, sprint 2, because you are able to add only 2 sprints, because we have added the sprints in the project configuration. Okay. If you want to add sprint 3, you need to make sure that sprint 3 is present in the project. Only then you will be able to add it under the team as well. Okay. Let's go to the areas now. Yeah, under the areas, it is already taken. Okay, Azure DevOps / developers team. Right. Let's go to the templates one. Yeah, templates. This I think we have already covered. So you can create your own template for each of the work items that we will be using for this particular team. Clear? So now I think we are pretty much covered with the project settings with respect to the boards. So now let's go to the boards and look at the other options that we will be discussing. Yeah, now what we'll have to do is that let's go to the backlogs first. Okay, click on backlogs, then we'll come back to the boards. Yeah, so if you see the backlogs, based on the number of teams that you have inside the project team, you will be seeing the backlogs. Okay, so if you see my team backlogs, as you have been added to both of the teams, it is showing you both the teams backlogs under my team backlogs. You can also expand all team backlogs here in case if the teams are more for a project. Okay, if you want to go to that particular team's backlogs. So now I want you to go to the developers team backlogs. And here the view will be like this. And yeah, under that you see there is a stories, right? You see a drop down with the stories. Can you click on the drop down? Yes, there itself. See, now you have the option to change to epic, features and story. Like when you are at the stories, you will be able to create only the stories only. If you switch back to epic, you will be able to create the epics. Okay, and in the project, in the team configuration, we have seen under the backlog levels, we enable the epic, right? So if you enable the epic there, the option will be appearing here. Okay, so can we go to the epics once? Select the epics once. Please select the epics option, Sampath. Yeah. Select the epic. Okay, so now you are at the epics level. When you click on new work item here, click on new work item. In the window only, in the same page, you are able to see a plus button, right? Plus new work item. Not there, not there. Go to the backlogs. This is one. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, here can you click on plus new work item? Okay, see by default it is taking you epic. Okay, give test epic. Whatever you type in here will be the title. Okay. Yeah, click on. You can add this under the top or bottom or at whatever level. Okay, at the selection also. Click on add to top. Now you see epic is created. If you want to view that epic, click on test epic. Click on the title there. Yeah, click on the hyperlink. So now you can see that this epic has been created and the area. See, the main thing that you will have to observe here is the area. Okay, so area, it is taking as Azure DevOps / developers team. Okay, that is because you are inside a team and you created the epic. Got it? So that is the difference between creating the work item from the work items tab compared to the backlogs tab. Okay, because under the backlogs, you're already in the team and you're creating the epic. Got it? So close this one. So right now we are at the epics. In order to, so let me give you an overview about the different options that we have here. So we are under backlog, and beside to that backlog, you see an analytics tab. Okay, can you click on that analytics tab? Yeah, about that.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, so what is the use of this backlogs actually? So why? So what we'll be doing here actually?
Backlogs, right? So backlogs is mainly for the requirement organizing. Okay, like how we have already seen the agile framework. Under the backlog means a list of requirements.
Okay, so you'll be planning sprint in the project configuration and team configuration, the requirements in backlogs. So like that.
Yes, you will be creating the teams and arranging the teams under team configuration and project configuration. But when you come to the backlogs will be the number of requirements that you get and put everything under the team. Okay, say for example, for the developers team, you will have around 10 to 15 requirements, like creating this page, creating a web page for this, creating a web page for this, or creating or setting up this app service, or creating the requirement can be anything. Okay, so all those requirements will be created under the backlogs. Then it will be moved into the sprint. Okay, say for example, you will have 20 backlogs with user stories. Okay, 20 user stories you will have under the backlog. It is similar to the backlog that we also referred during our college time, right? The backlogs that we have. So all these backlogs, we will be picking up the requirement that we are going to achieve in the sprint 1. Then
So
we
we'll be
will be,
defining every, okay, so sir.
yeah, go ahead.
So we'll be defining epic and task and all those things here, right? And then only
Yes.
we'll be assigning those.
Assigning, and
Oh,
then only we will be moving that to the sprint 1 or sprint 2.
okay. Fine. And
Got it,
in team
right?
configuration, right? Suppose there are two teams, team A and team B.
Okay.
So in the project configuration, you assign two sprints, right? So and to the second team, when you went to the team configuration, you choose the sprint 1 or sprint 2 like that, right?
Correct.
Suppose there are two teams, and for team 2, I need the sprint to be starting with the different dates than the sprint 1. It has to be the sprint 1, but different dates. Can I do that, or it's
You
not possible like that?
no, with a single project, if you want to do like that, that is not possible. What you can do is either you can change the naming convention, like instead of using sprint 1 only, what you can do is that you can start with your team name. Okay, say for example,
Okay.
team 1, sprint 1, and you can define your dates, and you can select that sprint 1 under your particular team.
Okay. Thank you.
Got it, right?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, under analytics right now we are not able to see the diagram because we don't have the data in. Okay, we have only one epic, right? So that is the reason it is not giving us the cumulative flow diagram and the velocity also. So can we go back to the backlog here? Yeah, backlog option. So for our data, what we'll do is that let us go ahead and add few of the work items. Okay, yeah, not only epic. I want you to add other work items also. And when we were one second, let us be in the epics only. We'll also have to see the related record thing. We have not seen the link one, right? So I want you to open test epic. So under this, click on add link here. We have not seen this option here. To your right hand side below, related work. Under related work, sorry, left hand side. Left hand side below, you see related work. Yeah, right hand side below. Yes, related work. Under that, no, this is for code. Okay, this is for development. Click on cancel here. Under the development only, you see related work. Yeah, there, click on add link. Yeah, now under add link, right now we don't have existing item. Click on new item only. And the link types, you can see there'll be several link types that we have. Okay, just click on the drop down. Right now we'll be using child only, but to see, you will have different other link type also, like child, duplicate of parent, predecessor, related, successor, tested by, tests. So all these different things. Okay, but for now we will be using the child because we are going to create a parent and child relationship for the epic. Okay, so usually in the organization we will be following the parent and child relationship only for having the relationship between epic, feature, user story, task, like that. Okay, so click on child and let's create a new work item, but work item type should be feature. Okay, so under epic you should create a feature only. Yeah, feature, and test title you give test feature only. Yeah, let's click on OK. If required, you can put the comment also, but for now, let it be blank. Okay, right now we are not, yeah, just keep on save and close. Okay, now you see under the related work, you're able to see one test feature called as child, right? Yeah, can you click on, okay, let's close this. Yeah, now you go to the drop down of epics, select the feature. And you see, yeah, click on the drop down. You see now, because this is a parent and child relationship, once you have this related relationship added, that means the child added, you can see a small drop down which will give you the inside hierarchy. Okay, you can click on the test feature. Let's create one more child for this one. Click on add link. You see, if you go to the feature, the epic will appear as the parent. Okay, which is the obvious thing. Yeah. Click on new item. Now let's create a, okay. Link type, it should not be child because already this feature is a child to a parent, right? So you will have to, one second. The link type should be a child, but the type should be user story. The work item type, yeah, should be the user story. Yeah, you can click, type in the title as test user story. Yeah, and then click on OK. Yeah, one second. Before you save and close, here you put the story points. Yeah, story points. You see under planning, we see an option called as story points, right? Under the planning. Under the planning group, we see a story points option, right? Yes, there, correct. Yeah, now I'll tell you what is the significance of story points also, because this is also important whenever you are in the DevOps group, because what happens is once you have all your requirements in, story points is where it is the field that will help you to measure your requirement. Okay, that means how much complexity is this story to execute. Okay, say for example, test user story is the title of this user story, right? Say for example, this is a requirement like developing a web form for a particular page. Okay, so this web form will require, say for example, it is a little complex web page where you have several calculations in. So this is a little quite complex one. For that, what you will do is that you will have to define a story point which refers to the complexity. So this complexity definition will be considered based on the Fibonacci series. Okay, so usually how do you measure the user story is using the Fibonacci series, like 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, so these are the digits that we usually use to measure the user stories. 0 we don't use if we don't have any complexity at all, if it is a very simple user story, but usually we start with 1. Okay, so 1, 3, 5. So 1 refers to, it will be different from company to company. So one story point will define that this user story is a simple user story which can be completed within a day, or within 8 hours, or within 10 hours, like that. It's a very simple one, or even within 1 hour. So this decision will be made by the team of your DevOps team, because they'll have their own standards for different to different company. Some company, what they'll do is that if they are giving you a story point of 1, which they'll calculate it as 1 is equal to 8 hours. Okay, so if the story point is 3, they'll say 3 into 8 hours. That's how they measure the actual working hours for this user story to be completed. Okay, so right now let's measure this user story as 3. Okay, so keep the user story point as 3. Yeah, you can go ahead and save and close now. Okay, so now you see this feature has both parent and child, where epic and user story is being shown. Okay, close this one.
Yeah, we can call these story points as t-shirt sizes also, right? Small, medium, large, and XL.
Yeah, you can do that also. Yes, before we came to this Fibonacci series usage, we used to use the t-shirt size, like small, medium, all these things, as you said. Yes, we were doing it before, but right now we are using the Fibonacci series only. Yeah, you can close this, and you see you have a user story inside the feature. Click on the drop down. Let's create a task also under that. Yeah, can you please click on this feature? Inside that feature, let's create a task also for the user story. Not there. Click on the small arrow mark. Yes. Click on the user story. Yes. Let's create a task for this user story. Add link. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Add link. New item. Select the work item type as task. Title is test task. Yeah, okay. Okay, right now, for the test user story, we have given the story points as 3. So usually I am measuring the user story as 3 into 8 hours. Okay. So 3 story points means 8 into 3. That is your 24 hours. So for 24 hours, we need to list out the task. Okay. So this will be test task 1, where you will be defining the activity. Like can you please click on the activity? Yeah, there. Development. You can select any activity for that particular task. Okay. So for development, what I'm doing is I'm thinking this particular task will take around, the original estimate is what you actually estimate. Okay. So this you can give it as 8 hours for one task. Original estimate, can you estimate it as 8 hours? Okay. So originally, whenever we are starting with the sprint, we will discuss in the call saying that this particular task will take around 8 hours. Okay. But it will be depending on the person who is working on it. Okay. Same task, if a newcomer is taking, they will take little bit of more time. If an experienced is taking, they might complete the same task within 3 hours also. Okay. So estimate, we will just put it. Once you do this work and complete this task, you will be putting the actual completed hours, and remaining will be like whenever you start working on it. Say for example, original estimate is 8 hours, right? So today you will work 2 hours on it. Tomorrow you will work 2 hours on it, like that, because you will be working on multiple tasks, right? So whenever you work today, so DevOps means what? You will have to update your work then and there itself. So today you took 2 hours to work on this task. At the end of your day, when before you log off, what you will do is that you will say you have completed 2 hours out of your 8 hours. So you will have to put completed as 2, remaining as 6. Okay. And then when you come next day, you will be again starting working on this task based on the work that you have done. You will be again changing the values. Okay. That is how we maintain our work with respect to the task and the sprint usage also. Got it? So for now, let's only keep the original estimate at 8. Let's go ahead and save and close. So why I'm showing you this efforts also is because if you want to see the analytics, right? That means if you want to see the burn down chart or the performance of your entire project, you will have to update your work accordingly. Say for example, even though you have worked today for 4 hours for the same task, but you don't update it under the work items, it will not show you in the diagram also. Okay, so let's close this. So right now we have these hierarchy, and right now we are under the epic. That's where the full hierarchy is being displayed. Okay, so can we change the display from epic to features? To your left hand side above, you have this, sorry, to your right hand side above, you have this epic option, right? Yeah. Go to features. You see from the feature level. Okay, so under the feature, you have user story and task, right? Yeah. User story and task. So wherever, which level you are in, based on that level, you will be able to see the work items. Okay. So analytics will come back a little bit later based on the updations that we are doing, so that you can see the diagram in real time also. Okay. So we have one more option which is called as column options here. So can you click on column options above? Yeah, beside that. So this column option will help you to display the required column that you want whenever you are working with your backlog item. Say for example, right now you have order, work item, title, state, effort, all these things, right? You see in that page. If you need any other columns also that you want to see in the backlog view, you can go ahead and add the column. So can we click on add a column? Yeah, add a column and select the drop down here. See, these are the different types of columns that we have. So please note all these columns are irrespective of the work items. That means you will be able to see all the columns with respect to all the work items that are there. But right now we are at the feature level, right? So whichever feature the columns are there, you will be able to see those columns only when you come to the feature. Okay, so you can go ahead and add the general columns like business value is there, value area is there. Can you add in priority? Because we have seen the priority field, right? You can just type in P also, PRI. Okay, priority. And you see there is one more option. Yeah, add a roll up column, right? Yeah, below that. Delete this. Yeah, that one. See, add a roll up column is also a very useful column whenever you're doing the project management. It will tell you the aggregation of all these things. Okay. So right now, yeah, from quick list, give count of work items. It will also show you the progress bar also. Yeah, count of work items. Let's add a progress bar also. Add a roll up column. Yeah, quick list. Progress by all work items. Yeah, click on OK. See, scroll this bar, bottom one. No. Yeah. You see a scroll bar here. When you see the project settings, right? Beside project settings, you see a scroll bar to move your cursor to that. Yeah. See now, right now you see there is a priority column. There is a count also. There is a progress bar also by all work items. Okay. Progress bar will be working based on the state difference. Right now, we just created all the work items. It is all in new state, right? So you see there is no progress. So that is why it is showing you 0%. Once you start working on it and put your work items in the active, based on the active completion, everything, you will be seeing the progress of your work items also. Okay, so this is about your column options. And before we go to this option view as board, we will cover the other options also, like you have this view, right? Beside your features drop down, you see a view bar. Can you just hover on that to your right hand side, the place where you select the features, no? Okay, you can close this. This is the option to navigate to the boards directly whenever you are at the backlog level. Okay, so when you just clicked on, when you clicked on backlogs, click on backlogs. Yeah, backlogs will be the list view. If you want to look at the Kanban boards view, you will be clicking on the option as view as board. Yeah, if you click on view as board, you can also see in the left side, it also switched back to the boards view, and this is a board view. Okay, so we'll come back to this little bit later. Can you click on backlogs? Let's cover the backlog options. Yeah, to your right hand side, you see an option beside the features. Yeah, just hover on it. Yeah, beside that. Yeah, that one, view options. Just hover on it. Yeah, beside that, there you see a button. Yeah, see, you see the view options, right? Yeah, if you click on view options, you will see in case if you want to show the parents, do you want to show the in progress item, completed child items, everything. Okay, you can make the selection, and you see under the side pane, you see mapping planning off. So already our planning is on. That is the reason you are seeing a side pane with planning, and you see your sprint 1, sprint 2, and your developers team backlog count also. Like what is the count of user story and tasks are there. So you see there is a small tile which is showing you a user story 1 and a task 1. Planned effort is 3, right? So this is the planning side pane that we have, that is showing you. Can you just click on off? Below, yes, click on off. Now you see you don't have that side pane, right? Okay, and can you click on mapping? See, if you see the mapping, it will show you. Right now you have selected the feature, right? So for feature, we already have the mapping, which is called as the test epic with the parent link. So usually this mapping will show you the link between the work items that you have selected. Got it, right? So that is how the different view that you can make use of. So whenever you are actually working, you will be knowing the usage of all these things. Okay, so if you want to just quickly see the different user stories and the planning, you will be going to the planning option so that you can see the planning directly. And if you want to create a new sprint from this only, you will be creating it. Got it? And the filter button that you see beside the view option, it's pretty straightforward. That is usually required to filter your types assigned to states, tags, whatever is given in the out of the box option. Okay. And can you please click on the settings gear icon here after that? Yeah. So this is also the one that we have already seen under team configuration, right? So if you want to enable the backlog levels, you can also do this here also. Okay, working days and working with bugs. So these three options which we have already seen under team configuration, same options are available under the configure team settings option as well. Okay, cancel this. Let's navigate to boards. Yeah, click on boards option. Yeah, click on boards. So this board is also an important one where this one will be used on a daily basis whenever we are going to have a daily stand-up call, right? So daily we'll be showing the progress. We'll have the call where this board will be useful. Okay, so right now you see there is one item under the new, right? So this is usually called as a card. Okay, so you see test feature, state, and new, right? So this is a card which will be having a drag and drop functionality, which will help you to move your cards based on the discussions that is happening on daily basis. Okay, so can you just move this one from new to active? Just drag and drop, click on the tile. Yes, just drag and drop that. No, not that one. Yeah, yes, like that. Okay, so you have an option to drag and drop this whenever you are discussing. Like you mean to say today you have created all these items and you want to move them to active. Okay, you want to move them to resolved or closed. So based on that, you will be dragging and dropping this card. Yes, if you want to make it as resolved also, you can do it. And when you open this item, what it will happen is it will show you the change where the state has been moved from new to active. Okay, usually this makes sense more whenever we are having multiple user stories or multiple features, and we wanted to discuss each one of it with respect to each of the teams. Okay, and the same options that we have already seen for backlogs will apply for boards, but configure team settings will be little bit different. Okay, so can we go to the gear icon here? Yes. Yeah, so here gear icon will help you to understand more fields that you want to add for this card. Right now the card is showing you the default fields, default core fields, that is your ID and the assigned to and your tags. Okay, in case if you want to add the other fields also, like click on plus field here. You see a plus field option, right? Yeah, you can select from the drop down. State is already added. So apart from state, let's click on the priority. Let's select the priority for now, or area path, anything you can select. Yeah. Okay, and it tells you show empty fields. Like in case if the priority is empty, do you want to show it? Yeah, check that box. Yeah, save and close for now. You see the change in the card. Right now, you also see the priority field. Got it? Can we go back to the configure team settings icon? The gear icon here. Yeah. So this is the first option in the card that we have. Then can you go to the styles? Styles option. Yes. So this is usually used to apply a styling rule. Okay. Yeah. Can you click on styling rule? So this will be useful whenever you want to make your board more informative. Okay. Yeah. Rule name. What will happen is let scroll down. Let the card color be same thing. Yeah. Field. What you do is that select state. State is equal to value you give active. Yeah, let it be equal only. Operator will be equal. Value you give active. Okay, save and close. So now you see your tile color has changed. Okay, so this features also will be helpful whenever you are dealing with a bigger team. Like you want to highlight if any of the requirements are critical, right? You will highlight this tile in this color so that they are aware that there is something pending or something very important in this work item to do, like in this feature to accomplish. Okay, so click on the configure team settings. We'll see the other options also quickly so that we'll cover boards backlogs today, and we'll also cover sprints. Yeah, go to the tag colors. Tag color, as the name says, it will highlight the tag. Okay, right now we don't have any tags that we have added to the user story or any of the work items that we have created. But in case if we have created, similarly how you saw the card color being highlighted, the tags also will be highlighted. Okay, so this will be left as a homework for you. I want you to add the tags to the work items and then use this option to highlight that tag. Okay, let's go to the annotations. So these annotations will help you to understand the user story, how it is being denoted in the card. Okay, as you saw that there is a simple tile that tells you the user story with the book name, bug with that, and all those things. Okay, can we go to the tests? Okay, this test one right now, let us not cover, because once we go to the test plans, I'll tell you why this is being used. But if you see, it is also telling you how do you want the test to appear on the card. Okay, right now, if there are any tests, create a new plan using the selected card. That option will be used, or you can also use a selected test plan if you already have a test plan. Okay, so that based on that option, your test plans will be appearing in the card. Okay, right now we don't have any test plans, so let us come back to it once we cover the test plans module. Okay, come down and see at the board. Yeah. So this is the columns that we are already seeing, right? So you see the column called as new, you see the column called as active, resolved, and closed. So based on the states, the columns will be maintained with respect to that particular work item. Okay, in the boards. So this is also pretty straightforward. Can you please click on the active? See, you see the column name is active, which is also configurable. Scroll down. This is also customizable. Okay, so in case if you don't want, there might be clients who will ask you that instead of active, I don't want the display name to be active. It should be something in progress, or it should be already active, something like that. Okay, if that is the case, you can come here and change the display name here. With respect to that, you can also select the state below. Okay. Yeah, that is the state that will be selected by you with respect to that particular state. Okay, this is usually we don't change anything here, but I have also seen the different requests that are coming at this level also, wherein they want you to add a new column and map the state with respect to that column. Okay, and then let's go to the swim lanes option here. Yeah, swim lane. Right now we are not using any swim lane. Swim lane refers to the lane that you can do it horizontally. Right now, the view that you're seeing in the boards is with respect to the columns, right? In case if you want to add one more section below, like above and below, you should have a horizontal lane. You can also add that as well. Okay, so this also I'll give you as a homework. So I want you to create a swim lane and see how does that appear under the boards. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. So that is the reason I'm not taking much time explaining here. Okay, and then let's go to the card reordering. Right now you see how you are working with the card. So it is the horizontal movement of your cards, right, with the columns that we have. If you want that, let us keep the default one only, because we are using the default one where the work items will reorder whenever you are changing the columns. Okay, let's go to the status badge. Okay, this status badge will be used whenever we want to append this information. So status badge means it will show you this preview. So if you see under the preview, you see a small tile with Azure boards, active is 1, resolved is 0, right? So this is the count that we are already having right now in the board, because we have only one feature which is active. We don't have any other work items with the resolved also, right? So that is what it is showing you. In case if you want to add this markdown in your wiki page, say for example, before having the daily stand-up call, your manager wants to know what is the list of items that we have, what are the active features that we have, active user stories that we have, and out of how many features, how many are closed, how many are still active, how many are resolved, or how many are blocked. So different information about the whole project. If they want to view, they'll be asking you to put all this information under the wiki, right? So that time you want a markdown for that wiki to appear. You can copy the sample markdown below and paste it under your wiki, where it will show you in a more detailed way for your project team to understand about the different features completion. Okay. And let's go to the general. Under general, I think we have already seen these options in the backlogs also. So similar option will be available for you to view under the boards option also. Got it? So this is about the boards option. Okay. So I think we have almost covered the requirements option. Can we go to the sprint option? Yeah. So under the sprint, I'll tell you sprints are the subset of your backlogs. Okay. So as I already told you, backlogs, we will record all the requirements, but which requirement to pick in a particular sprint, that decision will be made under the sprints. Okay. So right now we are under the task board. You see the option we have selected as task board. Can we go to the backlog first? Can you please click on the backlog? Yes. So under this backlog, you see we have this test user story. Can you click on the small arrow mark that we will also have the task under this? Yeah, test task. And these both are present under sprint 1. Okay. And if you see to your right hand side, you see sprint 1, right? Can you see the sprint 1 option to your right hand side above? Yeah, above. Yes. So under the drop down, you will be seeing the different sprints that we have. Okay. So currently we are working in sprint 1, and you can also see the date for your sprint 1. Right above the sprint 1, you are seeing June 7th till June 17th. We have 9 working days, and this is for sprint 1. Got it, right? And whichever user story and task that we have created now, can you just open a test task? No, test task. Can you open a task? Yes. Here you see under the iteration, it is saying you Azure DevOps / sprint 1, right? Under the iteration, you see that option, right? Yeah, there only, where you went above, right? After the state, you see area. Below the area, you see iteration. Yes, the iteration. Yes, that is also, yeah, you can select the iteration from here. Yeah. Okay, right now it is in sprint 1. So this is how you allocate this particular work item. That means this particular task to a different sprint. Okay. So now we decide that this test task should be completed in sprint 1. So that is the reason we have selected the iteration as sprint 1. Okay. Close this one. Yeah, you can close this one. Okay, so right now you are under the sprint 1 with one task. You can go ahead and add different tasks also for the same sprint to know your sprint usage. Okay, so this is about the sprints, but let's go to the capacity ones. Can you click on the capacity option? See here under the capacity, it will show you the different team members. Okay, so right now for this team, you have added Ravi and yourself, right? So it is showing you Ravi and yourself are the team members and what is the activity that they perform. Okay, you can also go ahead and assign the activity. Say for example, can you please click on the activity? Yeah, below that. No, under capacity only. Yeah, yes, that activity. If Ravi is working on development, you will be selecting the development option, and capacity per day will be 8 hours. Like in case if he is fully allocated, you will be allocating 8 hours. And for Sampath, you can give any other activity. Okay, like design, requirements, testing, anything. So for every team, you will have different teams also, no, like development team, testing team, every team. So based on their availability, you will be allocating the capacity per day. So you can keep it as 8 hours. And in case if they are taking any off, under the days off, you can define till when they'll be on off. Yeah, started and ended, so that it will not take the capacity for that day. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can click on save also here. Yeah, it should be in the current iteration. Okay. Click on OK. So whenever you see the planning tab, it will show you the capacity based on how many members are available. Okay, click on save here. Save button. And under the capacity, you can also go ahead and add the users and add their capacity similarly how we have added now. Okay. Can we go to the task board? The task board option? Yes, there only. Yeah. So here under the sprint, we don't call it as only the board, we call it as the task board, because usually in the sprint, what we measure is that we measure mainly the tasks, right? So if you see, and for this test user story, you see the task and you see the columns with respect to the task. Okay. So for the task, you see new, active and closed as the columns. So that is the reason you are seeing the same view under that particular task. Got it? And the column options are also same. And if you see, you have the person option beside the sprint, which will show you the board with respect to the person. Okay, like based on the user story, if how many user stories or how many tasks that are being assigned per person. Based on that, he will display you the board. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So for today, we have covered boards, backlogs, and sprints. Please go through all these things and try creating. See, I'll tell you, this view will be understandable only when you actually start working on it. Okay. Because right now we are creating all the test requirements. So that is the reason we don't have multiple tasks to showcase the board in a much broader view. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and start creating more work items and see how does that uh, plays the role under the boards, like what different options that you can use under the boards and in the task board also. Try changing the original estimate on like start working as if you're already working. Okay, so today you create a task, you assign the original estimate in the morning. By the end of the day, do one thing, you close several tasks and you keep several tasks in active where you put the completed and then save it. Tomorrow you come, you completely complete it, and then see how the chart also works. Okay, so right now we don't have the data, so that is the reason I'm not able to show you the charts and even the burn down also. Okay, so if you see June 7th to June 17th, you have, beside that you have a chart. Okay, right now it is not loading because we don't have the data. See above the person all, you see that time range, right? To your right hand side. Yeah. Beside that, you see a small graph actually. Beside that, you click on the graph. Yeah, click there. So this is the burn down trend. Okay. So this is the chart which will automatically tell you how much work you are burning down based on the sprint. So right now it is showing you completed as 0% because we don't have any completed task items, right? So that is the reason. Okay, so that is why you go ahead and start creating the tasks, completing the task also on daily basis to see the exact trend. Got it? So from tomorrow, we'll go ahead and finish queries, which is also an important topic. Post queries, delivery plans is pretty straightforward thing, which will be used for the project management from the DevOps point of view. We'll cover those two tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead with the repository. Okay, so from repository, we'll have much more practical work, because under boards, we have seen most of the things from the project management point of view. Okay. Yeah. So we'll stop the class for today here. We'll continue from the queries part from tomorrow. Okay. So the topics, whatever we have covered today, in case if you have any doubts, please work on the different options that we have seen and let me know if you have any doubts for tomorrow's class. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.